The end is here. It's the last brunch of the new year before the new year. Welcome to the Brunch Gimmick. Hope everyone's having a happy holiday, having a great weekend. If you had fun holiday plans, let me know in the chat. We got Fernando in the chat. Buenos dias, Fernando. Feliz Navidad. Or if you celebrate or not. Or if you celebrate, if you're celebrating Kwanzaa this weekend. This weekend is Kwanzaa as well. Happy Kwanzaa, everybody. We got Zach saying it's National Chocolate Candy Day. Personally, my favorite is Mars Bar. I love me a Mars Bar. But Milky Way and Twix, as Fernando saying in the chat, are also great. I enjoy those two as well. Clearly, as a chubby person. But yes, it is the final brunch of the year of 2025. And not only that, it is the day after, the morning after the World's End pay-per-view for AEW. We're going to be talking about that. And we'll be finally announcing all the nominees, the complete range of nominees for this year's Brunchies, taking place next Sunday. That's going to be a huge show. I'm very excited about that. But yes, as for me, I had the last 4 days off. Luckily, and I had a nice, more or less restful holiday. Went to my mom's for lunch on Thursday. Yes, on Christmas Day. My brother got me a book on SNL. My mom got me some mics, like portable mics when I do interviews, which was very nice. If you had somebody got you a gift you like, let me know in the chat. But yeah, It was more or less a very fun holiday. I don't think I'm going to be doing much for New Year's this week in a few days, but I'm excited for again, I'm off another 4 days from the shoot job. So that I'm planning on resting a little more next week. I had a lot of stuff to do this week, but I'm happy Christmas is done. We can move forward. Yeah, there's a lot of busy days, so let's get into it. Last night was World's End for AEW. There was a lot of decisions that people I felt were a little controversial or people didn't love, like a little thing, but it was still a fun pay-per-view all in all. Let's get into it. The first match, we'll quickly go through the pre-show, I guess, because especially the first match of Sisters in Sin, Julia Hart and Sky Blue defeating Hyon and Maya's World. They're now also AEW married them, so they now are Hyon and Maya World. They are the World family, who put on a great performance. And after the match, the graphics are back, specifically despite RJ City, and they are officially announced. Both Hyon and Maya World are officially all elite. Which congratulations to them. That was the big thing coming out of this match. And it goes to show that no spot is too small. Like they are two people who, Hyon especially, who, if you watched yesterday on Full Exposure and the Exposy Awards, 2 years in a row was Female Wrestler of the Year. And well deserving. Like Hyon has been killing it for a while now, and I'm very excited for her getting a bigger stage on AEW. Like this is somebody, like, two people who are given an opportunity, and like it's so much fun in wrestling when you see people given like a small opportunity and able to do big things with it. Well, like in acting, they say there are no small roles, and that is true for wrestling as well. They were given an opportunity. We all make our choices for ourselves, but like somebody did, somebody gave up an opportunity and they took the ball and ran with it. Congratulations to them. Officially all elite. And I'm looking forward to see what's next with them. Like they could be fitting perfectly in the ROH brand, and we could just bring them up, use them right away every week on AEW. I'm very excited for that. Then we had Eddie Kingston defeating Zach Gibson in a singles match. Zach Gibson, after the match, James Drake from the Grizzled Young Veterans, they jumped Eddie Kingston and a returning Ortiz with a sock either full of oranges or pool balls. Comes and makes the save for Eddie Kingston. It took him a little while because they almost got to the point of fully murdering Eddie Kingston. They were choking him with that scarf. But Eddie Kingston defeating, again, I'm always happy seeing Eddie Kingston back. The heavyweight title picture is just getting more and more jammed up. And we'll get to that at the end of the show. But man, I just want one time for Eddie Kingston to hold that title before retire. Because the time we have left with Eddie Kingston is obviously very finite. He's been talking more about retirement. Very much the same sort of retirement I would want. Like literally the exact same thing. I wouldn't want to. He wants to go to Alaska, and it's like, as long as there's internet, I'm fine. It's the same thing. Like I would just want to live in the countryside of Quebec. Get myself a cottage in the middle of the forest, and then as long as there's internet and I could stream sports and still do this, I'd be very happy. That'd be the dream. Like, I don't want to talk to anyone. Just leave me in my forest. But after that, we had Masquerada Dorada and Bandito with Alex Abarrentes defeating the Don Callis family of Mark Davis and Rocky Romero. This was a fine match. Like Bandito, obviously this is the cap off to an amazing year for him, winning the Dynamite Diamond Ring last week, being tag team champions with Brody King. It's been a very, very ROH champion. Like, it's been a very good year for Bandito, and this is just another little cap off on the pre-show. Then the final match of the pre-show, we had Jet Speed, Kevin Knight, Speedball Mike Bailey against with Jurassic Express of Jungle Jack Perry and Luchasaurus, defeating Josh Alexander and the Demand of Ricochet, Bishop Khan, and Toa Leona in an 8-man tag team match. You want to talk about people who are prone to have a huge 2026? Look no further than Jet Speed. They both, Kevin Knight and Speedball, had an amazing C2. Like, that's why the C2 is so special and so much fun. And they've been doing, like, AEW's been doing such a good job with that, as we're about to get into it after this. But, like, you're talking two guys that have been doing tags since they've been pretty much entirely, the last few months in AEW have been entirely tagged for Speedball and Kevin Knight. So them being able to show what they can do one-on-one and remind people how great they both are as individual competitors, especially going into the new year, I think it's only a matter of time till they are either in the TNT title, one or both of them are in the TNT title picture, or like they've got at least, especially in the new year, more serious competitor for the tag team titles. I would be very happy if they took it off FTR, honestly. Yeah, Maria, how's it going? Hope you're having a happy holiday, great weekend. Yeah, Bandito definitely. He at the bare minimum, he has to be somebody's top 5, if not top 3. Like, even if you're anything, like, he's having an incredible year. Like the content, it does such a good job of like highlighting people and like giving people matches and like also like it's a way of having people get big wins over other wrestlers that in a regular scenario they might not be able to do. Like people beating Okada where it's not as big as a deal. Like, it doesn't hurt them as much as regular, like in the tournament competition, round robin competition. So it helps them get big wins and help build them further. So yeah, like, and you also had Jungle Jack Perry, who was also a last minute replacement in the competition, also had a pretty good showing in a hard spot. But that this is a fun match. And I'm happy Speedball and Jurassic Express got the win to close out the pre-show matches. And talking about the C2, we had our first match of the C2 semifinals to kick off the show, which a lot of people, like, initially looking at the tournament, thought potentially this could be the final, but no, this was the semifinal of Okada versus Takeshita, and Okada defeating Takeshita to grant him a spot in the finals later on in the night. I think the fact it was the semifinals, I felt it telegraphed a little bit that Okada was going to win, because I don't think they would have vacated the title and had him thing. Like, I would have loved to see Takeshita win, and this definitely furthered their feud, especially the two matches here were the first two matches helped further fuel the descent in the Don Callis family. This I felt was a very fun match. Like, I can't wait to see more of them. Like, this is going to be definitely a feud that's going to be leading out the first few months of 2026 of Takeshita and Okada. Like, this is a big money feud here, and like, I'm very excited to see where they go with this. But Okada using a screwdriver, which he hid in the turnbuckle padding, and hitting Takeshita with it and beating Takeshita. It was like the duplicitous Don Callis family striking again. And like, God, Okada's doing such good work right now. Like, especially in AEW, switched up his game a bit. I agree. Like I would have had no problem that Takeshita winning. I think because he also has a New Japan heavyweight championship on him. I don't know. I think he already has a big championship on him right now from another company, so they might have been a little hesitant to put this title on him. But we will get into the main event. Who eventually wins the main event? Yeah, like both of them. Like this definitely is another step into a massive blow off match that they're gonna have. And like I want to see what's next for Okada because this is like, how do you keep? We're talking about a mess of people potentially heading up for the heavyweight title picture. Like now that Okada doesn't have that title, does he go up and like challenge MJF eventually? But I think like for the first few months at least, it's going to be a pretty big blood feud between Takeshi and Okada. I'm very excited for it. And yeah, this was a great way to kick off the show. I felt. Then we had what a lot of people felt was probably the match of the night, or one of them. Jon Moxley defeating Kyle Fletcher by TKO, by submission, sorry. Yeah, Kyle Fletcher passing out due to the choke. Kyle Fletcher, you're talking about somebody who's having a big 2026, potentially can have a huge, like, Kyle Fletcher has definitely solidified himself as a superstar going into this new year. Like, again, somebody who the Continental Classic, like, he was having great matches before that and was already, like, this helped him further cement him in superstardom for AEW, I think. Like, you're talking about somebody who's a massive young gun coming up. Kyle Fletcher is it. Even in losing fashion here, he looked great. Jon Moxley being the, like, when in doubt, break glass for Tony Khan whenever he needs anything. The ace of AEW at this point is Jon Moxley. And I think it made sense that they, in the final here for the first time ever, have Okada face Moxley. And like that is a big match feel to it. And I felt this is a very cool final. Like I would have liked to see Takeshita or Kyle Fletcher in the final. Like I Okada versus Fletcher would have also had the extra thing of the descent and the coming breakup of the Don Callis family. Because also Kyle Fletcher also went to go get the screwdriver from the turnbuckle during this match, except Okada already used it and didn't put it back. He just threw it to the side after he was done with it. So Kyle Fletcher going for it, coming up empty-handed, and Jon Moxley eventually locking in that choke and choking, like a really intense choke out. Like that, that looked like he passed out. That would look like an intense choke out. Like it's insane. I honestly feel right now either they're going to do a shock turn on the New Year's episode coming up this week where they turn on Moxley because they fit like I'm not going to talk about the main event a little later, but it looked for a second like they, at least in this show, walked back the Death Riders breaking up. Like it looked like they're reunited front again now that Moxley is starting to win again and starting to find like his reasons again to wrestle. But yeah, this was a very, very good match. Two great people. Like again, the final four, it was one of those things where you could make a legitimate argument and you could have been perfectly fine with any of the four making it to the finals. Like there was no losing here. Any four is like both deserved and should have had done enough to earn their right to the finals. Any of the four. So there was no literally you could have shaken it up any way you go here and it would have been a good finals. But that sets up our final for for the second match, the co-main event of Jon Moxley versus Okada in the main event. After that, we had a pretty fun match between FTR against the Bang Bang Gang of Juice Robinson and Austin Gunn in a Chicago street fight for the AEW Tag Team Championships. This one was pretty fun. Was it Juice or Austin? I think it was Austin Gunn who strapped the garbage can lid to his back and just was diving at people. That was a lot of fun. I mean, however you want to feel about FTR, they're clearly one of the best tag teams in the world and have been for a while now. I enjoy, as annoying as he is, I love Stokely Hathaway so much, and like he is so talented at being just a dipshit. Just like the most annoying. Yeah, I think this is one of the more predictable matches, Fernando, because like I think it made no sense that FTR would have lost this match. To me, I feel they're gonna hold it for a little while longer. And like you said, they're like everyone assumes they're losing it to Cope and Christian, but I would like to I honestly don't think that match necessarily needs a title match. Like you can heat up that feud again anytime. God, me too. I miss Jay White so much. I actually met him at an IWS show here in Montreal when he was New Japan Heavyweight title. So I have a picture of me holding the New Japan Heavyweight title next to Switchblade Jay White. And I have a tendency of cropping out Jay White because I was the New Japan Heavyweight Champion and no one could say any different. By proxy, I was Jay White and I made a deal. He would wrestle as New Japan Heavyweight Champion for me. He was essentially my avatar in New Japan. And not long afterwards, he lost that title. But yeah, I would have loved to see Jay White come back. But yeah, like this was a very like predictable match, I felt. But like again, it was a fun match. It did what it needed to do. Like a good amount of violence in there. Stokely just being a dipshit, and FTR once again through duplicitous means steal one from the Bang Bang Gang. Again, I also enjoyed that they did set up that like this was a street fight. We don't want tags. We're just going to throw hands here. Like it was the perfect setup between the promo package and this, because like they immediately second the bell rang just start throwing hands, and they're both all four of them are on the outside. It was great setup. Yeah, I enjoyed this match. Followed by our next tag team title match of the Babes of Wrath defeating Mercedes Moné and Athena by pinfall to retain their tag team championships. Man, like they 4 women who have had a hell of a year in this match. This was again a very, very fun match. Like the Babes of Wrath are so damn talented. Like just talk about Harley Cameron, who has stepped up so much. Like every single match, you can see the improvement, see the amount of work she's putting in. Like in the post show press conference I watched this morning, like Harley talked about being seen as a straight up just as an entertainer, and how people have been respecting her bell to bell wrestling and how much it means to her. Like she didn't want to be just seen as an entertaining wrestler. Like this as sort of like one sided. And like, this is the only thing you could do. Like she wanted to improve in the ring, and she is steadily doing that. And like well deserved. Like this is at the end of the day, I felt the right calls with the tag team titles on because they're doing a great job with this belt offer. It's the most pure joy tag team in the Babes of Wrath. And Mercedes Moné and Athena, as Mercedes Moné continues to end 2025 on the downslope, as Ultimo Moné just lost. It's just after an amazing amount of wins, just loss after loss after loss after loss. Man, I think like literally both the same. Like they've both been putting in the work. It's hard to choose. Like I would say they've both done such a good job and so committed themselves so much to this that like I they're both almost like the same for fun. Although like I would like to see them both in a match together, but I'm really enjoying what Maxine's doing too uh, with Maddie. Those promo packages are so cool, and like she is also mastery step. This potentially, yes, if she doesn't lose it, which I don't think she will, but you never. I'm not 100% sure she's going to win against Willow, as they announced afterwards. I think this Wednesday at the last Dynamite of the year, Mercedes is going to be facing Willow Nightingale for the TBS Championship. But yes, this fun match. You had eventually Athena and Mercedes are fall off on the same page, start making mistakes, and eventually cost them the match as Mercedes again gets pinned and Athena losing patience, somebody who is well known for not taking losses well during her title run and has in the past very much let her minions know that losing is unacceptable, and their friendship has seemed to be deteriorating as their frustrations with Mercedes Moné and her down skid getting to her as she has been dropping titles all over the world left and right now. But like the main one is the TBS Championship. And afterwards in a promo segment later on the show, you had Mercedes Moné trash her out of anger, trash her dressing room, say the fuck word. We all night people will be cursing in their promos. I think there are 3 fucks throughout the night. But Mercedes Moné, it was announced then that she'll be facing Willow Nightingale for the TBS Championship. Which, I honestly could see them putting the title on Willow Nightingale to end the year. But again, I would very much like to see Athena versus Mercedes Moné in a big match. Yeah, it was again they are just starting out their title run, so I would have been surprised if they lost. Then talking about predictably brutal match, Darby Allin recently being cleared from injury to defeat Gabe Kidd in a singles match. But boy, did both of these guys bleed a lot. 2 guys who kayfabe do not like each other and just beat the living piss out of each other for so long during this match. Slamming Darby's, slingshotting Darby into the, inside the stairs was crazy. Just both of them getting busted open by the end. And Darby Allin countering a choke into a pin for the 1-2-3. Very fun match. I'm really enjoying what Gabe Kidd's doing. I honestly want to see what would happen with Darby Allin in the C2, which is too bad that he had to be taken out because of injury. But I want to see what's next for Darby Allin going forward, as he can continue fighting the Death Riders going forward. I don't think it might not be over. It didn't seem like it's over between him and Gabe Kidd, because he did get it via roll up ish to beat Gabe Kidd. It didn't look like this rivalry to them is over. But this was again a shorter match. It was 12 minutes and 50 seconds, but a very fun 12-minute match. This needed what we to do. And just like every Darby Allin match, he's taking stupid bumps that no other human being should be able to take and stand up at all for the next month. And he just pops right back up. I would like to see Gabe Kidd get a win, but he's still signed in New Japan, so especially Darby Allin is one of Tony's favorites, and somebody he wants to continue to build up. And Gabe is the type of person where he doesn't work for the company right now, So he's perfectly placed to like take losses, but like he still looks good in the losses, so like it doesn't take too much away from him. But I think it's only a matter of time till he signs that AEW contract. Like it sucks because Wrestle Kingdom's coming up, and just the last few years, like it sucks. Like it's great that AEW has all this talent, but they have so badly drained New Japan. Like they've made it. They've at least like allowed a talent exchange with New Japan and do the Forbidden Door shows every year. And AEW talent does show up on New Japan shows every so often, at least like Wrestle Kingdom and stuff. So like there is a bit of a talent exchange there. But yeah, I think it's only a matter of time to Gabe Kidd sign with AEW, and I think once he signs, you're going to start seeing more of him, and like especially that he's sort of like the attack dog, the mercenary for the Death Riders right now. So it makes sense that Darby Allin would get the win there. But again, it was like it wasn't a convincing win either. He didn't win like straight up. He just countered him, got pinned his shoulder to the mat, and just barely escaped. So he didn't look terrible in that loss. Then we had probably the most straight up entertaining match of the night, which like the whole thing filled me with joy. You had Timeless Tony Storm, Roderick Strong, and the conglomeration of Mark Briscoe and Orange Cassidy defeating the Death Riders of Claudio, Daniel Garcia, Will Yuta, and Marina Shafir in the Mixed Nuts Mayhem match. This was a fatal four-way tornado tag. It was a five-way, sorry. It was a 5-man, 10-man tag. And absolutely ridiculous. And like exactly, it's weird because like this was branded content, but Mixed Nuts Mayhem was the perfect way. It's a bunch of crazy people just bringing mayhem in a match, and it was so much fun. I mean, Tony, you're talking about rest of the year. Tony Storm has again showing that like doesn't need the title, is finding great ways to stand out in with different opportunities. Like clearly, Willow and Harley were in the other match, so they couldn't be in this match to help their conglomeration family. But the just instant chemistry between between Tony and Orange Cassidy was great. The little dancing part in the middle I loved. I did like, and I was hoping for more intergender wrestling stuff in there. Yeah, like I thought Marina's going to choke out the entire other team. I'll be honest. Like I thought she was going to choke, like hit Orange Cassidy with the mother's milk. But I would have liked to see it seem a little more like they always teased it during the match. Like you got that moment of the crowd getting excited for like the potential like intergender stuff, and they don't pull the trigger and they quickly switch out, or somebody gets like another, like either a man or like Tony makes a save for another dude to face off against Marina Shafir. Like that was the one annoying thing in this match. Like, man, just let them go. Let Marina Shafir just wreck fucking house. But man, Cesaro hitting the swing. Like, I want to see Tony Storm fight Cesaro so badly. I mean, Claudio Castagnoli so badly. Like, they kept teasing that so many times during the match. And he hit that big swing and just like he almost tossed her clean out of the ring. Like, she got some air on that. That was crazy. But yeah, they were teasing that a few times. I'm like, fuck, I just want to watch them go. I wish they like AEW allowed more intergender stuff because that was fun. And you also got the face off between real life husband and wife, Roderick Strong and Marina Shafir in this match. Hell yeah, for the Continental belt, do it up. You got the real life married couple facing off. You got Marina just kicking the Christ out of Roddy, and Roddy just back shopping the Holy Ghost out of Marina Shafir. Like, couple goals right there. Just they went at it for a second, and I'm like, man, I want to see more of that. I want to see them go at each other in an AEW ring. Like this whole thing was so much fun throughout. Like I think the card needed this too because it brought a bit of energy back in the crowd. The crowd wasn't like I want to hear more from people who were there. It just didn't sound great on television at the bare minimum. At worst, like their energy was out of it, especially for like the last couple matches. Like the second last match, you felt the energy was a little bit out of the room, and they were pretty gassed by that point because at that point it was like 11 p.m. Eastern, and they've been there for like probably since 5-6 p.m. A lot of them since like 6-7. I didn't mean to do that on purpose. But yeah, it was a long day for the people in the audience. So like, especially this match like this brings energy to the crowd. Everyone's having fun, and after the win, you get Tony doing the peak bisexual, just dancing and hugging and carrying everyone. Like the part of Orange Cassidy jumping into Tony's arms and Tony carrying him was great. Everything was perfect. Just the most like pure, just entertaining match on the card. I feel like this was a lot of fun. And then we followed by Chris Statlander defeating Jamie Hayter for the singles AEW Women's Championship. This was again exactly what it needed to be. They built it up nicely and paid off. This is going to be a hard hitting match between just two people who can throw bombs. And especially like I like the ending sequence of this where they kept doing each other's finishers to each other and kicking out. And you're never quite sure. Like again, it was pretty clear that Statlander was going to win this match. So sorry. Throughout. Like I feel like Stat's going to hold this title for a little while longer. My guess probably into the summerish time before she drops it. I think like she's another like clearly just like Toni Storm was like on another level champion. Sorry. Yeah, and I feel a little bad for Jamie Hayter as somebody who keep like after losing her title or getting it taken off her from injury. I think she deserves like a longer women's title run. Hopefully, like this is a feud you can revisit anytime because like these two match up very well together and just beat the hell out of each other in the ring. Like two incredibly strong women just beating the hell out of each other. Yeah, they both are just like so just strong as hell, beat the hell out of each other throughout the whole thing. It was such a fun match. Like I enjoyed the like different falsies of them hitting each other's finishers to close out this thing. You never knew what was going to happen. Like I, for a second, thought Jamie Hayter might have the upset after she hit the Haterade. I'm like, oh man, this might be it. Like I was like, I would have been legitimately surprised if Jamie Hayter won. I'm like, that would have been a legitimate shock that night. But again, like the crowd was weirdly out of it for this, which I did not like. At least it felt out like these last two. I think both matches before the main, they got into a bit during the main event, then died down again. But yeah, this was a great match. I think Statlander is clearly the solid number one on top, and I'm excited to see who they get to face her coming up because there's no shortage of wrestlers there who can have a banger match with Chris Statlander. After that, we get to the finals of the AEW Continental Classic for the Continental Championship. With Jon Moxley defeating Okada via pinfall. This was like a more slowly paced match. Like I didn't necessarily love the match. Like it was like more thoroughly paced throughout as you had Okada just continually work on the legs, and they're also I like the idea that they're selling the lingering injuries from the other matches. Like I miss what I liked about this too is I missed the old King of the Ring pay-per-views where you had the semifinal and final in the same night. Like I missed that. And like that's what I loved about this. So like you have lingering injuries. You had Okada visibly banged up too. Like that dude like I don't know, like I wish I actually like the idea of Tekla taking the championship off Chris Statlander. Like that is somebody who is very believable as a champion. Like I was there in Toronto and there was a huge pop when Statlander won the title. Yeah, like it was very surprising that Moxley won. But again, like he is the ace of the place. He is the like I think it was time to take the title off Okada, especially like going like his feud with Takeshita doesn't need the title. It's clearly the two people who sort of like the younger and older version of the same thing facing each other in the Don Gallows family. So there's a story written there, so it didn't need a championship or anything with it. I find it interesting that Mox won. I did not like going into this tournament. I did not see that coming. But like I'm interested what's going forward. As after the match, he did cut a promo, a very babyface promo, talking about how like you need to respect everyone who is in the C2 because they fought like hell throughout. They're basically like no losers in this tournament. They all deserve this title, as this was a grueling tournament, and like they did a good job throughout this match as well to like very clearly sell the lingering injuries from this tournament, and that it does take a toll. And like the majority of the match is Okada working on Moxley's leg or his knee that he injured. And it's like the crowd definitely leaning towards Jon Moxley now, and like cuts a babyface promo where like for a while there was a point near the end of the promo where I thought that the Death Riders were going to turn on him, but they didn't. They hugged, they got out of the ring. I'm like, all right, we love to see another day. Like I think potentially if it's going to happen, it's going to happen on the New Year's episode. I think the it's weird having the Death Riders as baby faces, especially that you just brought in Daniel Garcia and turned him heel to join that group, and like a few months later immediately turn him back baby face. Is a strange move. I think they might be pulling the trigger. I think they're not the rest of the Death Riders soon are just not going to vibe with Jon Moxley's new vision for them. Yeah, I do too. I love the old King Ring format. But yeah, again, it gives Moxley something to do to keep him away from the heavyweight title picture too. And it helps like this helped build both like what's going to happen with the potential breakup of the Death Riders, even though like it looked like they're a united front when they got out of the ring and he celebrated near the end. Again, he took like quite a few rainmakers and kicked out like and like Mox hitting his finisher multiple times, a different version of the same finisher multiple times on Okada to finally get the win. But yeah, so like I think going forward, I think Okada and Takeshita is going to be the thing for the next few months. I think Moxley again defending the Continental Championship could potentially be cool, but also I could see him potentially feuding with Claudio if they turn on him. But yeah, this was a fine match. Like I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it either. Like it was a little more slowly paced. I think that also did not help things that this was a slowly paced match. The second to last match of the night, late at night. So it definitely like did not help the crowd situation there. But then in our main event, we have MJF defeating Samoa Joe, Swerve Strickland, and Hangman Adam Page in a four-way match for the AEW Championship. This MJF getting in the match by cashing in his Casino Gauntlet Championship contract. Again, you're talking about Jon Moxley being the ace and like somebody who breaks glass when he needs to shake something out or like needs somebody to be champion. MJF like it is great. It's funny because MJF feels like he's been champion more than once. Like, it's sort of weird. Like, this is only his second title reign. He's somebody so I do too. Like, he's talked about a little bit. I think he's waiting potentially for college football to end to like go back to an afternoon pay-per-view, but I think they just announced another one. Oh yeah, MJF. I think he's been like, especially after his little break here, like coming back from doing movies and stuff, he's definitely revitalized, more focused than ever. He's got a lot more energy to him now. That especially that he's healed up his injuries. I'm excited for what this world title run is going to be for MJF, as we're going to get the Triple B back. Again, Samoa Joe, I would have been perfectly happy with Joe winning, but the thing with Samoa Joe and is that his title run had a clear end date on it, which was when he has to go back. I think they're going back to Toronto to shoot, but when they announced the new season of Twisted Metal, so it was like quite clear that Samoa Joe was going to be losing the title within the next few months. Like, this was from the very jump not going to be a long title match or a championship reign. And MJF getting like, what a difference a year makes, getting his win back. And it feels so much longer because it was technically 2024, but it was last year. Like, it feels so much longer that this happened so much longer. But MJF getting his win back over Samoa Joe. And I found that very interesting too, that he pinned Samoa Joe. He didn't find like a cheap way of either beating Swerve or Hangman to get the title. He pinned the champion to do it, and like pinned him clean, hitting the heat seeker for the 1-2-3 on Samoa Joe. I found that interesting too. I felt that was also like a good, smart move of storytelling there, where he not only got his championship back, but like probably one of the biggest losses in his career, which like at last year's World's End, he finally got to avenge that, as well as get wins simultaneously, get wins over for Strickland and Hangman Page, like screwing over two of the biggest ops he's had. Like all three of them in one shot. This was a like smart booking decision on Tony Khan's part. Like this was the smart way for MJF to get like Samoa Joe. Yeah, it sucks. 2 times traditional champion. But again, like Samoa Joe, I would like to see him one day have a longer run potentially. But again, like he's also in the back end of his career. See, I get it, but like this was also like the type of thing where he had to like avenge the worst moment of his life, or his like wrestling, his AEW, where like his best friend Adam Cole turned on him and Samoa Joe beat him for the title. Like I felt like it was a good idea to have him pin him, and I like we're probably gonna get him and Hangman coming up within the next few months. So like I think it's very crowded, that heavyweight title picture, and you potentially have like a few different people coming up there that can challenge him for the title over the next few months. Like I think it's gonna be fun. I think MJF is gonna hold this one for a while now. I think at least into next year, probably into maybe even into 2027 he holds this title. But I think it's gonna be a longer title reign again for MJF. As he brings back the Triple B, and again, absolutely well deserved. Like this is one of those matches where I was fine with pretty much anyone winning here. I love Samoa Joe so much. He is always just the dude who always looks like he can beat the brakes off you, and like is great in any position you put him in. And definitely did a good job here, but I think this is clearly going to be MJF's win. And yeah, I'm happy to see him back. I think this was the right move at the end of the day. Yeah, Reign of Terror, MJF style. So, all in all, I give this pay-per-view a solid B. I enjoyed it. Good way to end the year for AEW. And they head into their final show of the year on Wednesday on New Year's Eve. But before we go this week, next week, massive show, the first brunch gimmick of the year. It's going to be the first annual Brunchies. Cue graphic. There it is. It'll be January 4th, coming right at you. And today we can announce all the nominees going forward, starting with the nominee that we already announced a few weeks ago on the Brunch Gimmick. It is the Normie of the Year, Excellence in Content Creation. We got In the Weeds. We got Fuck Ass Predictions by Alex Ahas, Between Two Beards, Pluggo and JPJ, Touching Grass / Reaction Streams, Wheezy Blonde, Dave LaGreca for Busted Open, and Saturday Night Love, Big Bad Boris. Followed up by that's the same one. Had the Content Creator of the Year, Wrestlers Doing It for the Vine, Speed Vlog Mike Bailey, Speedball Mike Bailey's vlog, Queen Animanata for her vlog, Veda's vlog, BTE, The Elite, and their Bronami code MXM, all nominated for Content Creation Awards. Followed up, the Women's Wrestler of the Year. We've got Toni Storm, Chelsea Green, Harley Cameron, Willow Nightingale, Becca, and Shotzi. Then the Danhausen Award, which is Relentless Commitment to the Bit. We got Toni Storm, Chelsea Green, Tribal Keith, Harley Cameron, and Jason Exile. Men's Wrestler of the Year. We have Puff, Cecil Nix, Effie, Orange Cassidy, Mr. Iguana, and Psycho Mike. For Tag Team of the Year, we have Triple Dragon of Puff and Pretty Ricky, MXM, Mason and Mansour.
Please unlock the device to continue.
Okay. Cecil Nix, and London Lightning, and the Babes of Wrath of Willow and Harley. Promoter of the Year, we have Evil Uno for Mystery Wrestling, Spencer Love for Love Pro Wrestling, Tony Khan for AEW, and Carlos Silva for TNA. Promotion of the Year, we have AEW, Mystery Wrestling, C4, WWE, LPW, and IWS. I might have missed one. And joining the Hall of Fame, the Brunch Hall of Fame, for his time on AEW, RJ City will be the first inductee in the Brunchie Hall of Fame. Plus, we have what will be announced on the show, the Moment of the Year, which was the show or big moment that happened this year. And it's going to be a very special one, as I'm excited to announce that. Oh, yes, this is the updated version of the tag team graphic, where it's the Ass Blasters, Cecil Nix and London Lightning, and Babes of Wrath, Willow and Harley. All of those will be happening next week, January 4th. Oh, Maria, good thing their next show is not going to be for, I think, a few weeks. It's going to be in January. It's going to be they're doing their first show in the UK. It's a very silly promotion run by Evil Uno out of Gatineau, Quebec, Canada. It airs like for free on YouTube at usually 5 p.m. Eastern is when they do it. Usually on Sundays on like 5 p.m. Eastern, like once a month. And it is very, very fun. There's a little more gig to do, but it's the most fun, ridiculous shows. I've been to 3 of them at this point, and they are so great. Like, it's free to watch on either Evil Uno's Twitch or the Mystery Wrestling or Evil Uno's YouTube as well. You can check it out when you can follow the Mystery Wrestling on their socials. Very worth it. You can watch the shows for free. The main thing is you never know. They announce like one star that's going to be there. So somebody is going to be doing commentary with Evil Uno and nothing else. So no one knows the matches. No one knows the hijinks that people are going to get up with. Like there's both like comedy wrestling and legitimately great wrestling during that show. I love Mystery Wrestling so much. So like it's very like just be sure to like follow them on their socials for the next show because they're going to be doing one from the UK coming up in January. But yeah, those are the official announcements for the Brunchies. I'm very excited about it. Like, well, I wanted to make sure, like, my idea behind it was, like, I wanted this to be the awards for, like, the most entertaining wrestlers, like, just straight up entertaining wrestlers who are, like, very funny, but, like, have that special it factor, too. That's, like, the main push and thing. And I wanted to make sure to have it from as many independents, WWE, AEW. I wanted to try to get as many of those names in there as possible because there's so many people doing such good work. It's so hard to narrow this down. Like this is the first one of these I'm doing. I've already have ideas for next year. Like I already have ideas to fix it for next year. Sandy, how are you doing? Hope you're having a great holiday weekend. Hope everything is great on your end. But yeah, we just talked to AEW. We just announced the official Brunch Awards, which will be happening next weekend. And I am legitimately making awards for this. So I'm very excited. We're going to be making golden mimosas awards. I'm very excited about this. We're going to be a lot of fun doing this next week as we break down all the winners who, like, there's a lot of big names in here. I'm very excited. All in all, like, it's going to be a huge show. And I hope everyone comes back to join me. Oh, you're going to SmackDown in Berlin? That's awesome. When is that, Sandy? When's the Berlin SmackDown? I really hope you have fun while you're there. But yeah, that's going to do it for this week. We will be back next week with the Brunchies, and we'll be recapping the last and the first few shows. Yes, I really. Oh, that is actually on my birthday, Sandy. The January 9th is my birthday. So you will be celebrating my birthday at SmackDown in Berlin. Yes, and I'm terrible with names. Like this was all my brainchild of like a couple months ago. I've been like kicking around for a while, and like literally right after like finalize everything and sending it to. By the way, also speaking of birthdays, it is our own Zach Ralph's birthday today. So if you have Zach on social media, be sure to wish him happy birthday. He's the one that made all our graphics. He's the vice president of the company here. And he hosts the Quizplex every month. So maybe be sure to say hi to Zach on socials. It's his birthday today. He is very hungover right now. Oh yeah, that's Street Chasing Mill. That's gonna be a lot of fun to be live. They're really doing a great job building that feud. Like going into this new year, there's a lot of fun stuff coming up. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this week. You can follow me at KartSayNDG on all socials. And we will catch you back here next week for the first annual Brunchies. I hope everyone has a great weekend, a happy new year. I hope you're safe wherever you are celebrating this next week. If you're going out drinking, make sure to take a Uber or taxi home or Lyft or whatever company you have in your local area. Be safe. Make sure you formulate a plan to get home, especially late at night. I hope you had a chance to celebrate with your friends and family this month, or your chosen family. I hope everyone has a restful time at least, enjoys whatever time off they do get. It's never long enough. And we will see you back here. This is the last time in 2025. We'll see you back here in 2026 for the Brunch Gimmick. Last time, 2025. I'm Laurence Cartier. We will see you next year. Bye, everybody. Thanks, Sandy and everyone, and Maria and Fernando for hanging out. We greatly appreciate you personally. I greatly appreciate guys hanging in the chat with me every week. It makes the show so much more fun. We will see you next year. Bye.